everybody. Welcome back to
Welcome Black.
Welcome Black.
Hey.
Black History Month. Come on now, you know what I mean?
And we're going to remind you for the next 4 shows.
It's this weekend, this month in Black Excellence, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This week in White Supremacy. If this is your first time, welcome. We hope you enjoy yourself. If this is your second, third, fourth, or, you're an avid listener, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? My name is Jasiri X. I'm co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. And to my immediate right...
miracle.
Oh, okay.
The favorite...
Oh, we changed it.
The favorite of black men 70 and older.
Listen, if you love me, give me your social security check.
Man.
JK, it's the girl Big Blessing with the Big Blessings, aka Miracle. What's popping, y'all?
What is popping? And my brother.
It's your boy, Trouble in the Last Never Like Supremacy, Next Level Shaman. You know the deal.
You know the deal, man. And sir.
Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, Dina Fitra al-Islam.
Wow.
He said...
You want all the FBI.
He said, Mashallah, Miracle ain't going to work.
Yes. What does that mean, sir?
It's just an acronym, man. It's just an acronym. Surveillance against this is down.
Oh. Is it? Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, you about to bring it back up with all that Islam? Is that what it is?
My name Wild September 11th.
Ramadan is like less than a month away, right?
I know. Yeah,
Ramadan
crazy.
is right around
Inshallah,
the corner.
it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And listen, I need
all of it.
I need some deen, man. I need some deen because the dunya's been winning.
We all need it. We all need to.
We all need it.
Recenter, redo good things in the world.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Some more than others.
If I could script away, like if I said, okay, what's the blackest way we can start out Black History Month?
Would it be like Charlie Murphy saying darkness?
It could be
darkness, everybody.
But
darkness is spreading.
To me, like a rapper sweeping the Grammy Awards, then being led away in handcuffs.
Yeah.
He had like the full black male experience like in an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a rapper, you know what I'm saying? He's being celebrated for this culture, you know what I'm saying, that we tend to make the least amount of money on, but you know what I'm saying, we're the face of, right?
Yeah.
The biggest genre in the world. He has this huge celebratory moment.
Right.
Where
multiple celebratory moments.
Yes, where his album, where it's a sweep, it's Atlanta, it's the South, you know what I'm saying? It's this culmination, and then shortly thereafter,
they should have never gave you niggas Grammys.
He was led out of the venue in handcuffs in an apparent dispute with the security guard that got physical. He later was, let go. But obviously that puts a stain on the night. Or is it, it would make a great rap song. Miracle, what was your... As a big Killer Mike fan,
don't start.
I'm about to say,
don't start with me.
As a fellow ATLian,
as somebody from the South.
Pass.
Yes, a fellow Georgian.
Pass.
How do you feel about your Georgia friend?
The way y'all be trying to set me up, ask me questions about people y'all know.
Asking all them questions.
Am not fond of.
Okay, so for people that don't know, because again, like Killer Mike is this. He's polarizing, right? And he's somebody
he need to ask his friends Candace Owens what to do. Okay,
right.
So listen. Yeah. Here's the thing: he could have called his cop father to come save him. He could have done a lot. He has literally stood side by side and demeaned people for rioting in the streets. So obviously, he needs to figure out what he needs to do to not get arrested. It's not. I don't know why. I don't know why you would ask me this, knowing how I feel about them. But I will say, I'm not a fan of state violence. I wish Killer Mike was not a fan of state violence.
Shit.
But No one deserves to be arrested on the biggest night of their lives in a humiliating way. They not only arrested him, they could have detained him, had a little citation talk, put it in the mail, whatever.
Right.
They paraded him. They arrested him, put the handcuffs on him, paraded him through I think it was called the crypto, whatever, the arena.
Yeah.
So everybody had to see him humiliated.
True.
And everybody had to see him look, like he was just an average criminal.
Like he was a rapper?
That is very racist and anti-Black, and I want you to interrogate why on Black History Month you want to bring violence into my segment. I am trying to find grace for someone that I am politically opposed to. I'm trying to do it and pull back my Sagittarianism at the same time. So what I am saying is, I think that was very problematic. I think it was very disrespectful. It was unnecessary, right? There's not, like they said, it's a misdemeanor. There was some type of, situation, but it wasn't a physical jousting where somebody was knocked out or hurt or harmed.
Correct.
It could have been handled in a different way. He could have been able to, celebrate. But again, this is why I say white supremacy will not save you. Cloaking yourself with white supremacy will not save you. And just, but I've heard the album is nice. I haven't listened to it. But people did say it was a very good album. It was a very hip hop album. It was very emotional. It had all of the elements, and that it was very moving and timely and really interrogated even some of the things that I brought up at the very beginning.
True.
So again, I think it's called Michael.
It's called Michael.
And people said it's really, really good. People who have the same political philosophy as me have listened to the album. They loved it. Mark Lamont Hill raves about this album. Right. So again, you should go, listen to it. No one should be arrested. I think that was foul. And I don't like how people are trying to blame this on Will Smith and be like, well, had Will Smith not...
wow.
Had Will Smith
Will just at home chilling, relaxing.
Will Smith catching strays?
Chris Rock, no one would have been under zero tolerance at the Grammys. But I just think it was ridiculous. Yeah. People do stuff. He should have been able to celebrate, enjoy his moment, and they could have, detained him, talked to him about it, figured out a way for him to turn himself in. All this for a misdemeanor that's going to get dismissed later is absolutely ridiculous.
And you're 100% right. Yeah. They could have just gave him some type of citation. And
if this becomes a stunt for a music video, I'm going to be angry.
And just to
that would be crazy.
Miracle had mentioned some of Killer Mike's comments, in 2020, when it was a racial uprising around George Floyd. Killer Mike said, I'm the son of an Atlanta police officer. And this was at a press conference with the former mayor, the police chief, and T.I. He said, my cousin is an Atlanta police officer and my other cousin is an East Point police officer. And I got a lot of love and respect for police officers. So he talked about that. And so it was kind of but he also talked about understanding why people was upset. He said, I watched a white police officer assassinate a black man. And I know that tore your heart out, but he was trying to calm people down. He brought him in like, yo, Killer Mike, you have some influence, go calm them niggas down. And, he did it in a way where, like you said, he centered his own family's experience with police officers. So it is interesting to see, in this great moment where you've talked about, respecting police and respecting these individuals in charge, you get arrested. It is kind of ironic in a sense. Treble, as a Emmy Award winning hip hop artist, how do you feel about this moment?
I think it was very fitting to have Jay-Z at the Grammys because at the end of the day, when I look at Killer Mike, it's still a nigga, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're still a nigga at the end of the day. You feel me? They're still going to treat you just like they treat anyone else that is the same color as you. Yes. No matter what your allegiance is to police officers, no matter your respect for the police force and stuff like that. Yeah. They'll still walk you out of the Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Particularly if you were nominated as a rap artist in the Grammys. No, that's an excellent point. And, shout out to Jay-Z. Jay-Z actually went up to accept an award. I think it's like a Dr. Dre kind of social justice award and kind of read the Grammys, right? Particularly in regards to Beyonce being the most awarded Grammy winner ever. I think she has 32 Grammys, but none of them being for Album of the Year. And then they went and gave Album of the Year to Taylor Swift. So they said, we hear you, Jay, but we're going to give it to this white girl.
There was a video on Instagram that I thought was very interesting about the caption was essentially like Jay-Z showed hip hop artists how to stand up for black women.
Oh, wow.
During the Grammys.
Okay.
I thought it was a really dope analysis.
Yeah, dope. He had his daughter up there, and then he poured whatever he was drinking in a little Grammy and sipped it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Farouk, another hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we told guns to the Grammys, pop bottles on the White House lawn.
Okay,
this is just the same old Sean. I mean, I'm just quoting Jay, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was whack that they did that to Mike, man. Politics aside.
Yes.
Let him have his moment.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything Miracle didn't already say or Trouble didn't already say.
Yes.
But what I will say is, if that is featured in like a music video, that would be fucking crazy.
I mean, you kind of gotta, like, you have
to use that to your advantage at this point.
You have to rap about the fact that in your biggest moment, kind of like what Trouble said, in your biggest moment, this is kind of the black experience in America, right?
I wonder if his dad bailed him out. Who posted that bomb? Was it LP?
Somebody? But it's like in your biggest moment, you were led away in hand. Like you were like publicly humiliated after being like publicly risen up. And that's kind of that experience when you look at whether it be Michael Jackson, whether it be Prince, whether it be like these icons, you know what I'm saying, in our culture. Oftentimes we're held up and we're lifted up, and then we're like torn down in a very public, disrespectful and humiliating way. And we saw this happen with Dr. King, right? Mm-hmm. As we go into Black History Month. And so like to have Killer Mike have this happen on this stage, like as the whole internet, particularly like my algorithm, was like celebrating his victories and posting pictures with him, he's in handcuffs being led away. And just to echo what Miracle said, they know they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, would you say it was going to be a summary offense? Like,
it's a misdemeanor. Yeah. It's like, just write, give him, hey, look, after this award ceremony, turn yourself in. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so you could have done that, but because you're a big black man, when you get into it, this larger, dark-skinned black man, he becomes the scary. His name is literally Killer. We have to put this man in handcuffs. That white supremacist psychology means like, no, we want to show this. And we've all ran into those type of security guards, right?
Absolutely.
Like, this nigga's holding 3 Grammys and you want to get in his way. Are you supposed to be in here? Nigga, I just won 3 times, that overzealousness. But we have breaking news. A ruling that we have been waiting on. And so 3 judges have determined that Donald Trump is not immune to prosecution. Right? It says 3.
Clap, boom, boom.
3.
Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
It says 3 judges found that Trump is not protected from criminal prosecution for alleged crimes committed during his presidency. According to the news, it was a unanimous decision from a 3-judge panel that he is not immune. Miracle.
Isn't that a tribunal?
I think it was the district court.
Okay.
Yes. It was a federal ruling. It's a federal court, right?
I know it's probably eventually going to go to the Supreme Court. We're so close. Because y'all know how I feel.
Yes.
Because I want 45 to drop out, because then 46 can drop out, and then we can just have a better opportunity for our future.
True. Do you think 46 would drop out at that point?
Yes, because his whole thing is like, they got Trump. Trump is coming. I have to run to stop Trump. And I feel like if Trump is no longer this thing that we have to be afraid of, there's another boogeyman, then it's like Nikki Haley and Biden. Oh my God, that's not going to be a good debate.
Would this?
And she's probably
going to run circles.
Horrible.
Yeah, she's going to run circles around Biden.
Would she?
In a debate, yes, but her policies are
absolutely
bad. Like, and she's like, ban TikTok, like take all these rights away. This thing away. No.
So,
but I think it's great that this is true. And again, I think a part of this was the fact that Trump did not shut up, because he had that campaign stop a couple weeks ago and he was like, presidents need immunity. There's going to be some good ones and some bad ones, but like we can't do what we want to do if we don't have immunity. So you're basically saying that a dictatorship has to happen. Unless immunity is taken away from presidents. So I think a court is going to look at that and be like, no, you can't commit crimes when you're the president. That's not how this works.
Right.
Which I then also hope becomes a precedent for other things. But
like war crimes?
Crimes
against humanity.
Yeah.
Crimes against humanity.
Maybe we'll see a president at The Hague.
I don't think we'll see The Hague, but I do think that you could realistically see elected
like
officials.
Sanctions, like with teeth.
No, we would have to do an internal prosecution,
right?
So it'd be like a special, kind of like when they were trying to impeach Clinton and Kenneth Starr, I think it was.
Kenneth Starr, yeah.
It'll be a specialized tribunal like that.
I got you. Okay.
Right. Everybody, I like courts. I like argue and have facts, and I think we need to do that.
I never would have known.
And any other?
Look, I told you I was starting today with good energy. Why?
She did say that. She did, and you immediately dismissed it. Any other? Any reaction, Farouk, trouble to the fact that Trump, who has been, this was his, I guess, like ace in the hole in the sense of he felt like I was president and I can do what I want to do. And if you say a president can be prosecuted, then it limits the power and all of these different things. Now that a federal court says no, we can convict you of these crimes. Do we think that, Trump will be convicted and will be off the table at this point?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really do hope so. Because I, one, don't want to see Trump on my ballot. Two, I don't want to face the possible reality of another Trump presidency.
Yes.
Three, I do think that like at this point, he has much bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have 90 plus charges right now.
Yes.
And you're trying to run for president, bro. It's like, come on, bro.
He's trying to outrun them charges, bro. That's what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, it makes sense. Farouk?
Damn.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just damn.
Damn.
Okay, Kendrick.
All righty. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting because Trump...
He reserves all his smoke for me.
Yes.
So that's why
Wow.
he doesn't have anything to say.
He said it's Black History Month. I'm reserving all my vitriol for the only black woman at the table. Is that?
I thought you were going someplace else with that personally, but all right.
It's okay because I got a big back, so I can take it. You know what I mean? It's holding the weight of this podcast on my shoulders.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at where your mind went.
I didn't know. No, I just
look at where your mind went.
It's
interesting because Trump started the week off saying,
"It's okay, just let it out." I know
for so many years.
To be good right now.
No, he's good. For so many years, people have been saying that.
All my life I had to fight. That's what Trump said.
Trump did say he's the Nelson Mandela.
He did. He's the Nelson Mandela of politics, man.
And so, there's a possibility that Trump goes to jail or goes to prison and is still.
We wouldn't call it the Mandela effect no more because of the Trump effect.
But think about this. Trump's not going to give up.
No.
He's not going to pull himself out of the race. He's not going to concede. He's never even admitted he lost in 2020. So I could see the very real possibility that even though Trump...
there was no proof that I lost.
Yes.
The tribunal, whatever you want to call him, fuck him.
I foresee him getting on his plane and heading out the country.
Yeah,
just like in
But if it comes down to him being arrested, I can see that. If it comes down to him actually having to get arrested and face jail time,
like Succession,
I could see that possibility and being but these followers will be like, oh, he's running the country from Saudi Arabia or whatever.
And I hope they go just follow him to Saudi Arabia as well.
Go to Russia like Tucker Carlson. Go to Moscow and be with Putin if y'all love him so much. Isn't that what y'all used to tell us? Why don't you go back to Africa?
If you don't love it, leave it.
You're complaining, niggas. Go back. That's what they told us.
That's facts.
That's what they told us. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
Anytime we
complaining niggas.
Right. Anytime we complained about America, it was love it or leave it. Get out of here. Now you're complaining. go to Russia.
I had a teacher in grade 10 tell me, if you don't like it, leave.
Yes.
Like, if you don't like America, leave. Her name was Miss Kovash. I'll never forget that shit.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, apparently also Trump and Elvis, for many years, people have been telling Donald Trump.
Who? That's what I want to know.
That him and Elvis look alike. So Trump tweeted out a picture.
Elvis?
Which,
Yeah, right. The young viral Elvis or the old fat dusty had a heart attack Elvis. Which Elvis are we talking about?
Didn't Elvis die on the toilet?
That's what they say.
Jesus Christ.
And Elvis, in the later years, let himself go. But I mean, again, like if you're calling him Jesus, Orange Jesus.
Orange Jesus.
Like Elvis isn't that big of a jump. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's an amazing, fascinating campaign. Well, Trump's the possible Republican nominee now. If Trump goes down, Nikki Haley's waiting in the wings, right? And Nikki Haley, I guess sensing maybe she has a moment. She went on The Breakfast Club. I guess she was like, it's Black History Month. I want to show her.
Would y'all want her on this podcast?
Well, we want Nikki Haley on it. Not like after watching The Breakfast Club, no. Because like Nikki Haley was not answering, it's like political speak, right? They asked Nikki Haley a question, and I guess this question was about, Vice President Kamala Harris. And then Nikki Haley began talking about President Obama and about how in her mind, it was President Obama that's the cause of the division that this country has right now. Did you want to play that clip, Fruit?
That was, if you go back, that's when we really started to feel the division. That's when it was.
Pretty sure there was like a 400-year.
Well, no, I think it was
time period.
Everything. Everything was exaggerated with the Obama administration. It became more about gender. It became more about
people
race.
Learned that folks had
people
rights.
felt like they were being put in camps.
But again, like why was it exaggerated? You can pause that. Like why was it exaggerated, Nikki? Because white people saw this black man in the White House having real power and lost their fucking mind. Like, we didn't put white people in camps. They put themselves in camp. They started their little tea party. They marched on the White House with guns. They did that. We didn't put them in no camp.
Wasn't there somebody at this table that posed a question, what if the Tea Party was black?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was you?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and got a lot of,
Didn't you come under scrutiny for that?
A lot of scrutiny. Absolutely. Miracle, you had something to say about Nikki Haley's Obama caused the division comments?
I did. What I was going to say is this revisionist history is very funny to me because if you remember, the reason why we were so segregated at that time was there was a website, a news program that was literally dedicated to attacking the Obamas. You had the terrorist fist jab because they just did a little fist bump. You had the oh my god,
oh yeah, the terrorist fist jab. I forgot.
I don't remember that.
Yes, so that's what they called it.
So Barack and Michelle did like a little, like, hey, come on.
Fist bump.
Like a little fist bump. And they said this terrorist fist jab.
Yes.
It was
and literally put like a cartoon of like Obama and Michelle like dressed as terrorists, like bumping each other's fists. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Google right now.
I do not remember this.
There was the thing about when Obama had the tan suit, they said he was cheapening the office of the president. You had, when he had arugula, he did, when he was on the campaign trail, he was eating arugula, and they said he was high acidity and out of touch with the American people because he ate arugula and people just ate lettuce. Yes. Like, it was literally all of these things. But then on top of that, when he was trying to pass legislation like the Lilly Ledbetter Act, they were like, oh, why do women need to work? Why do women need to have equal pay? Yes. And so people not only put their own selves in camps, they put their bigotry on display because
absolutely
we could have had a working government that said, okay, we have this black president and we'll go about our day. But instead you have Mitch McConnell, the day that President Obama won the nomination, say, hey, the Republican Party will do everything it can to stop any legislation that Barack passes. Then you had, the great white feminist icon RBG refused to give up her seat and retire because she believed that Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president and she wanted a woman to appoint her successor and not this black man. So the reason that we were so divided during the Obama administration is because y'all were xenophobic, anti-black bastards that wouldn't allow the president to do what he was supposed to do. And now we're still dealing with the ramification of these consequences.
Yes, you had the New Yorker, if you saw that.
I just looked. That's crazy. I do not remember that at all.
Obama dressed in full Muslim garb, who's not a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Fist bumping Michelle, who
with a bandolier and a rifle.
Yeah, they have her dressed almost like a Angela Davis in camouflage with a rifle. And then if you look in the fireplace is an American flag on fire and a picture of Osama bin Laden on the wall, right?
Like,
and this was crazy. Again, and this was like normalized. Like the attacks on Obama were normalized as if he was somebody that was going to destroy America. So the idea that like that was his fault, right? And not the fault of like literal like white supremacist, racist white people. But that, you know, that's what Nikki Haley's for. Nikki Haley is literally there to be this person of color that puts all the onus and responsibility on other people of color and take it all off white people because these are the people that she's trying to get a vote for. You had a comment, Trouble?
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that Nikki Haley is looking at a time where the color of the president that we had in office made people reveal their bigotry and put it on Front Street.
Yes.
But then blamed the president for
it's
that.
It's his fault.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's your fault that racist people don't like you, Obama.
Yes.
It's your fault that, you know, people are attacking what they think your religion is and putting a target on Muslim people's backs. You know what I'm saying?
Literally the governor, when you had one of the worst racial mass murders in American history and would not take down the Confederate flag. Like, this is who's telling us about division. You see what I'm saying? Like, shut the fuck up.
That's a great take, man.
Farouk?
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing. Just to be a politician to even insinuate something like that a president, because of his blackness, is responsible for creating a division, as if we didn't have an entire time period in history in America where it was literally divided. You had a fucking civil war, Nikki. Your flag that represents your state is indicative that your state wanted slaves, wanted black people to be owned in property and all that. So you can't say that the 8 years Barack Obama held presidential office, that all of a sudden this racial uprising took root and just materialized out of thin air because it fits a narrative as you try to ostracize yourself from your brownness.
Yes.
And it fits the narrative that you want to push in this electoral campaign, that this racial divide only exists as a narrative, as a plot point to get you into the White House. It's fucking whack.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like we're seeing, and what I think happened with the Obama administration, what's happening now is like white people are becoming more comfortable being very public with the racism that they've always felt, right?
Now, for me personally, I'm okay with that. I would rather you let me know, like, you know
absolutely,
what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah, like the upfront racism, while it is a little bit stomach twisting.
Yes.
I would rather you let me know where you stand from the jump.
Yes.
Versus me have to deal with this closeted shit, like the sleight of hand shit.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
As long as it doesn't turn into violence, because we've seen this rhetoric. I mean, you just had some dude like cut his father's head off on video,
nuts,
on some right-wing racist Republican. So this just happened, like really, like, so we're seeing this. And so one of the things that came out of that was, you know, one of the representatives that, you know, we stand with and champion is Representative Cori Bush from St. Louis. And Cori Bush is part of the squad. Cori Bush, remember, like famously like organized like a hunger strike, like stood outside of Congress to highlight like homelessness and what was happening not only in Washington, D.C. and St. Louis, but all around the country where people were getting less and less. And, you know, did that very publicly. We were able to go to D.C. and kind of stand with her. She is under investigation for hiring her husband as security. This is so hilarious to me. Yeah. Like, the guy you want to be president had his fucking daughter, you know what I'm saying? And son-in-law, like, as like secretary, what was his position? Like secretary of something, you know what I'm saying? But negotiating $1 billion deals with Saudi Arabia for him. Like, they had official positions, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to let that slide because it's a white guy that we like, right? So Cori Bush is under investigation after hiring her husband as security. Obviously, she's been, as a black woman in Congress, I can only imagine the amount of death threats that she gets, Ilhan gets.
Summer Lee.
Right, Summer, AOC,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rashida Tlaib. Like, we know that they're getting, probably, countless death threats.
And why wouldn't, if anybody is going to be vested in your interest and your welfare, it's going to be your husband.
And by the way, we're not that far removed from motherfuckers storming the Capitol with guns and bombs, right? That happened, right?
And feces. They shit on the walls, man. They did a lot of things, bro.
So, a white congressperson and Troy something commented on this investigation of Cori Bush. Did you want to play what he said?
It's disgusting. Trigger warning.
Yes, it's disgusting.
She doesn't even support the police. But the idea to pay her thug money to try to help protect her, this and that, for what? Maybe if she wouldn't be so loud all the time, maybe she wouldn't be getting threats.
Absolutely
ignorant.
Well, pause that. Because then, what? You said?
It sounds very familiar.
Oh, shit. Have you heard that in this episode, Miracle? Have you heard that from a gentleman wearing flannel in this very episode?
Point him out. I'm just continue.
Oh shit!
I'm just a silent African in disguise.
Oh what? Oh no! Well, don't listen. You know what?
Wow!
I can't even touch that right now.
But again, play and Cori Bush. This is Cori Bush's response. Start it over again. We're going to play.
I don't.
This congressperson's comments
in the room with us,
and then
it's the question I want to know.
And then we're going to play Cori Bush's powerful response. Let's go.
She doesn't even support the police, but the idea to pay her thug money to try to help protect her, this and that, for what? Maybe if she wouldn't be so loud all the time, maybe she wouldn't be getting threats.
Absolutely ignorant, anti-black, racist and sexist tropes by a sitting member of Congress who was a colleague. I have never even met this person. I've never even talked to him. And for him to spew something so disgusting, number one, to call my husband my thug, what qualifies him as a thug? What does he know about him to call him a thug? That is
he's black. He's a black man.
A dog whistle. And then also to tell me that, I'm being too loud. Me advocating for St. Louis is I'm being too loud. How about if you would have fixed the issues that St. Louis has? I wouldn't have to talk about it. I wouldn't have to fuss about it. But yes, I'm going to be loud, and that's okay. If I want to be loud, if I want to be quiet, that's my prerogative. Him putting his mouth on it just shows racism at its best.
Yes.
Black, loud, and proud. Show up and show out, number one. Number two, as someone who is, firmly in the thug love category, I think it's hilarious how people always want to call us thugs when we do violent things, but then when we're trying to protect our own, we're thugs again. I just find that very fascinating. But her husband is a qualified person who has a former veteran, I believe, who has background in security. He's paid market rate. And this comes at a time when AOC herself said on January 6th, there were the Capitol police officers who looked at her in threatening manner. There is still this idea of missing checks that came from the Secret Service and Capitol Police. There is still the FBI report that said police officers have white supremacists in their ranks.
Yes.
So Cori, who is a advocate for working class people, hired someone that she knew had her back.
Yes.
Who she knew wanted to protect her, who she knew was already trained to have the resources, opportunities, and access to protect her. And y'all are mad. Y'all are upset when we are not the black women that Malcolm X talked about. When we are loved, supported, and protected, y'all get upset and you don't know how to deal. And this is the third or fourth investigation into the fact she hired her husband.
Right.
But at the end of the day, she can hire whatever security she wants, number one. Number two, she can hire private security because her private security does not have the record of harming, killing, unjustly detaining Black people. The difference between these security guards, whether it is religious or not, the people that you were hired to protect you, they don't have a legacy of being slave catchers. They don't have a legacy of shooting children in the back. They don't have a legacy of taking away people's civil rights and liberties. So to sit there and say that because she screams defund the police, that she is not worthy of security and protection is ludicrous and outrageous.
Right.
And the last thing I will say is, if you actually went to Congress to do your job, if you actually went to Congress to protect the American people, we wouldn't have issues of safety, because we would have housing, we would have health care, we would have food, we would have access to things. Instead, you run an election to disparage Black women, and that's why we do not feel safe.
And just according to, again, that's all. I mean, everything you said is on point.
Delivered on that.
According to, just a little searching that I've done, he was a member of her security detail before they got married. One, he is an Army veteran as well. So it's like, it's all good to be an Army veteran up until, and then I refute the notion that, like, because you are critical of police, because you want police reform, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So we got to maybe put a cut there. I don't know. Oh, he's asleep. Let's maybe clap it back in.
Damn, you thought niggas never been on the air before. We got 2 phone calls on this episode?
No, this is, somebody's, anyway.
Because you're critical of police.
Yes, I refute the notion that because you're critical of police, because you want police reform, there was a study that 90% of Americans, 9 out of every 10 Americans want police reform. So like, now is the American country as a whole anti-police because we want to see reform, right? Because we want to see police do their job in the way that that Americans feel like is equally, we're dealt with equitably, we're dealt with justly. Like, because you want that doesn't mean you're anti-cop. And because you're critical of the police, right, in different ways, just like y'all Republicans were critical of the Capitol Police, right? Y'all was mad at the Capitol Police when that one white woman ran in there with her gun and got shot and killed, right? Y'all was mad at the police right there, but y'all are never called anti-cop, right? Even though Trump spoke out against the police, the actual DC police, who kept those Congress people safe, just like this racist man who spoke out about Cori Bush, right? And so just because you're critical doesn't, now you don't deserve protection. You don't deserve to be protected, right? You deserve to be attacked, harassed, or death threats be made. But again, why does she deserve it? Because she's a Black woman. And this is one of those white men that don't think that Black people should even have rights to, like, how dare you even be in the same Congress halls as me, or have the same rights as me, or have the same ability to speak as me. So he really spoke his mind and what he believes. And just like she said, racist, sexist, all the above.
He wanted to call her a nigga so bad.
He basically did everything but her thug. Yeah. That was your way to say this nigga, she's paying this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I do think it's ironic that he would call her qualified husband a thug while he sits and quietly calls for violence against her and says that she deserves it because she's critical.
Yes.
But her husband, the one who wants to actually protect this Black woman, is a thug.
Right.
I just think that's crazy.
And if you just look at it, like, it's a husband wanting to protect his wife.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you draw such a drastically separate conclusion any other way besides looking at it racially is incorrect?
Yeah, because they're Black.
I want Cori and her husband, you know, the Bobby Brown, when he's talking about thug loving. I want them to
I love that record.
Him to like drop a song,
Bobby Brown and Ja Rule,
remix,
that was my shit.
That I want them to make a little TikTok of them together, because I do think that we are entering into this era, and you mentioned it earlier with Jay-Z. And, you know, shout out to Papoose, because he's the one who held it down.
Papoose.
Yeah. He's the one who held it down. But I do think that we are entering into this era where Black men are protecting Black women loudly and proudly, and they're not doing that simping or whatever, except for Farouk. I do think that this is a very important time. No, because you want
uncalled for.
He was the anti-Jay-Z.
No. I'm sorry, was that being too loud? Was that being too loud?
Oh, shit.
Was that being too loud?
I can fix that.
She not have. Oh, look.
Wow.
Silencing black women.
That's crazy.
On our first episode during Black History Month, after she accused you of the very same
Someone
thing.
get this nigga off the show.
Boom.
Man,
Who that man?
Now, if I said something hurtful, we have to go through another training.
Yes.
But listen.
I'm just existing, and Miracle just throwing shots.
You kind of low key started it, but go ahead, Miracle. Go ahead, Miracle.
Therapy is working for me. Do
Yes.
you see how I didn't get baited? I want us to just take a second,
Yes.
and just appreciate the therapy.
Yes.
I even forgot. I was saying, but I'm just saying we are entering into an era where Black women are being protected.
Yes.
and I really like it and appreciate it. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like you said, loudly and proudly, we talked about Jay-Z. We're seeing, again, like this is a man who is a veteran. He's trained. Who better to protect his wife than him? And again, man, we've seen on the Republican side so many daughters, sons, people with jobs. Like, come on, man. Like, please stop all of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But in more, I guess, congressional, I guess this was Senate racism. There was a investigation or conversation in the Senate around social media. And of course, like the Republicans, like to them, like TikTok is like Satan and the devil just came together and just made a social media platform. You know what I'm saying? Like and so one senator, it's just so funny that this is a white racist dude and his last name is Cotton. It's just so it's like, it writes itself, right?
Yeah.
Hey, who picked him?
Yeah. Certainly not black people. We're done doing that. We're done picking Cotton, sir.
But Cotton's not done picking you.
Oh my
Slavery's
God.
making a comeback.
Ooh, so anyway, Senator Cotton saw an Asian man.
And he got enraged because he said, you all look the same.
He said, you all savor.
Yes. Can you play the clip?
This is wild.
Had a lawsuit and it was overturned.
It's just wild.
What happened?
No,
It's another
was the
company.
Biden administration that reversed those sanctions, just like, by the way, they reversed the terrorist designation on the Houthis in Yemen. How's that working out for them? But it was sanctioned as a Chinese communist military company. So you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
He's grabbing at straws. Affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions. You said earlier.
Do you know how to make General Tso's?
What happened in June of 1999?
You can pause it. I mean, he's grabbing anything Chinese, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
he's just anything Chinese.
Oh my God.
He's trying to throw at this guy, and the guy is saying, look, I'm from Singapore, right? I'm born in Singapore.
I know I might look Chinese to you.
I serve my country. But again, that's like calling all Asian people Chinese.
Right, yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's just grabbing straw. Do you have any fortune cookies back there? Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Clearly China.
Yes, right.
And clearly we're talking about China and Tom Cotton's inability to distinguish someone who is from Singapore, which is an entirely different nation than the People's Republic of China.
Yes. And it's like, again, this is a senator, right? And it's like, hey,
clearly they were not sending their best and brightest when they elected him.
Hey, there are these things they're called maps, my nigga. Like, go look at one, see where Singapore is.
All I know is America. I know America and I know Panda Express. I don't know nothing else but America.
But again, like, he knows his constituents are racist.
Yeah.
But they're not smart.
No,
so they don't know.
I don't think anybody would ever confuse them as intelligent beings.
So they don't know about Singapore. So like he can't vilify Singapore because they don't know about it. They don't know where it is on the map.
Didn't we go to war with Singapore? Didn't we drop bombs over there?
I'm sure they did. I mean, is there a place that America hasn't dropped a bomb? Probably not. Yeah. So again, you have to try to connect him with China because that's who you've been demonizing this whole time, as they're going to come over here and they're going to take over America and they're using their social media to take over. So
Singapore, I ain't sure we want Trump for 4 more. God damn it.
Anyways, I was going to say,
yes,
Cotton trying to link this man to China is just the same as Nancy Pelosi trying to link protesters to China and to Russia.
Yeah.
And I call it xenophobic terrorism.
Yes.
But it is this playbook by which, when you are encountering criticism, that you try to link that to a foreign nation or a foreign national entity because you believe that you are above critique and you believe that the people who don't agree with you are somehow below you, beneath you, or literally foreign to you. And while we are seeing this outward bigotry of Senator Cotton, we kind of just laugh and dismiss the quiet bigotry of a Nancy Pelosi because we assume that because of her politics, she is kinder and above the fray. But we've seen it even here in Pennsylvania with Senators Kelce and Fetterman talking about, Chinese companies or Asian companies buying up industry. We've seen this when we're talking about TikTok, when we're talking about foreign influence in our elections.
Yes.
And I think people just need to be aware of this bigotry that's rising.
Absolutely.
Because we've seen attacks. There's attack that just happened in Texas. We're seeing increased attacks on people who are perceived as Muslim or perceived as Asian because of this. And also, we don't really talk about Russophobia so much because we've been really conditioned to see Russians as enemies of America. And so we don't even think about the bigotry that community encounters. And I think it's just horrible. It's just horrible politics that we have from our elected officials who should do better and know better.
Right. And just on your point, Miracle, I mean, we're coming off of COVID, where individuals like Donald Trump and these right-wing Republicans were calling it the China virus. And we saw
Kung flu was crazy.
Right. Kung flu. Right. And we saw the rise in attacks on Asian people. And that's the thing, because these races don't know how to discriminate, right?
Right, yeah.
Just like after 9/11, we saw non-Muslim Arabs attacked.
Yeah.
Right. Because
the first person killed was a Sikh.
Right. We saw that, right? A Sikh temple was ran up on by a mass shooter, right? Because they don't know how to distinguish what Arab is Muslim or there's a lot of Arab Christians.
Right.
But it's just you're Arab.
Most Arabs are Christian.
Right. But it's like you're Arab, so you're Muslim, right? Mm-hmm. You're Asian, so you're Chinese. And we saw this dramatic increase of hate crimes against Asian people. We saw Asian women being killed in a mass shooting or mass murder. So again, this is just fanning those flames. And these are white men that are doing this, whether it's the guy who spoke about Cori Bush or this guy, because they don't have to face the consequences of this violence.
Right.
They can stoke this violence against black people, against brown people, against nonviolent protesters, right? Against Asian people, because they don't have to bear, the fire of that. They don't have to feel the ramifications of that. They don't have to deal with the loss of the murder. They simply do not care.
Yeah.
And so this is why I wonder when, black people and brown people and Asian people embrace the Republican Party. It's this is what you're embracing? Mm-hmm. You're literally you're the sheep going to the wolf and saying, protect me. No, they're not going to protect you. They're going to eat you too, just like they're trying to eat everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
So with that being said, I guess in lighter news, we started Black History Month.
You said that?
Oh, shit.
Why, what? I missed it.
I said in lighter news, and she said, why did you look at Farouk?
Miracle, your colorism.
Wow.
I was just trying to...
Apparently, Black History Month.
Spread the looks around.
We started Black History Month, and the New York Times claimed that Travis Kelce invented the fade.
What?
Travis Kelce, a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs who's playing in the Super Bowl, who is a person who became known to hundreds of millions of people worldwide because he's dating Taylor Swift. And the New York Times did a story about all of these white guys going to the barber to get the Travis Kelce haircut, which is simply a fade that black people have been getting for hundreds of years.
There's only two fades we recognize here. Boosie's and Nas's. Yeah. Those are the only two fades we're going to acknowledge on this show.
So, do y'all have any comment?
Yes, I have a bone to pick because
with the New York Times or with Travis Kelce?
Yes, because you lot on the internet,
yes,
let Travis Kelce get away with his nigga core cosplay so fucking much.
Ooh, wow,
you let him say, "Oh, he dates a black woman, so his accent is acceptable." And then when his brother came out, and they grew up in the same fucking household, only like 2 years apart. Yeah. With this wild country accent looking like a fucking lumberjack. And you thought all of a sudden Travis Kelce was just invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
He came in with his long hair in the NFL.
Yes.
He looked like a fucking trailer park boy.
Yeah.
And now he starts speaking with the black accent and all this other shit, popping a couple dance moves. Dates a black woman.
Yes.
And then, Travis Kelce's this cool ass white boy. And now he leaves a black woman and starts dating Taylor Swift.
I mean, after she swagged him up. You know
after she built him up. You know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden, like, everything Travis Kelce does,
he came home one day and she was like, where you coming from? Oh, the barbershop. She was like, let me text my friend.
Man,
I got somebody that can straighten you up a little bit. You know, make you look a little bit sexier.
Yeah, and now Travis Kelce, like, he doesn't have the same swagger as he did when he first came in when he was doing his nigga core cosplay.
Yeah.
He's so much more tame now. Taylor Swift's marketing team has been making him a lot more acceptable to middle America.
Yes.
And they're putting him on as a product now.
Yes.
And all you motherfuckers thought that this was like regular. Like, this is no different than any other white person who codifies the black experience, uses it for their personal gain. Is Travis Kelce an amazing football player? Absolutely.
Yes,
could I have done with all his antics? For sure.
And it's wild because it says, the New York Times article is called, "They'll Take the Travis Kelce Hairdo," that is. And it says, barbers abroad are being inundated with requests for, quote, the Travis Kelce. I'm going to say right now, let me look directly into the camera. If you go into your barbershop and you ask for the Travis Kelce, you should be absolutely denied a fade. If you don't know that's a fade,
I'm fucking you up.
If in 2024 you don't recognize a fade, you should not be able to get one. You should be blocked. If you don't
recognize a fade, you deserve to catch
one. Catch the fade.
You know what I'm saying?
Blah, 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 blah.
And if you go into your barbershop and they don't have the little chart where you can point to which number fade you want, you about to get messed up.
True.
Fact. But I do think
if you're going into what's the little name? What's it? What is it called? Like Good Cuts or what is it? Super If you're going to Super Cuts with a picture of Travis Kelce, you about to get fucked up for real. Your shit's gonna be crazy.
But I hope y'all don't have to endure the Travis Kelce tax, meaning that like.
Oh, like the fade goes up, the cost of fade goes up?
Yeah, I hope that your wait times don't go up.
Oh, wow.
And I hope that your barber don't cheat on you with somebody else.
Does Shane cut white people?
He does.
Does he?
He put one on his page recently. This is my barber. He did put a white dude on his out there. Now I know why.
Yeah.
If I can't get my appointment because these white dudes messing my barbershop,
Shane, I'm going to tell you what right now.
Hold on, wait.
I'm going to tell you what right now.
Wait. NLS Ron, what's his page?
Oh yeah, Next Level. What is it?
Next Level Cuts or something.
Nah, Next Level Style or something like that.
Look up NLS Ron if you want to fade in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
he got you. You are his target audience. But what I would say, I think the problem also was Travis Kelce's barber, who is not black, who also tried to take responsibility for the fade.
Yeah, like he created this shit. Like, come on.
Well, I think that
he didn't take responsibility, but it was like that. This is this reporter who is a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Who did this? And to her credit, she did do it on January 29th. So it wasn't in Black History Month, but goddamn, Allison.
So this is essentially
we don't defend the Caucasians during Black History.
This is essentially her not recognizing her reference point and
correct.
being like, you know what, Travis, you're the first time I ever experienced a fade.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell the world that you invented it. I feel like Travis should come out and be like, listen, y'all, like, if he wants to do a good service this Black History Month, he should come out on his social media.
Very true.
And be like, listen, y'all.
Post up pictures of Boosie. Post up pictures of Nas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like post up all the iconic fades.
Miracle. They had there's TikTok after TikTok of these white guys getting like a black haircut with the line and everything. And the caption is the Travis Kelce haircut. It just makes me wonder, like, when you walk through your life, does this woman live in New York City? Do you not see, when we say like they don't even see us.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you don't see us. How many black people have stood in front of her talking with this same motherfucking haircut? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want to call this the Travis Kelce?
They were saying,
have you been alive for the last 20 years?
They were saying it wasn't nothing but a Puerto Rican fade. I forget who it was. Like every nigga in Terror Squad had that fade.
I always say when people say that they don't see color, it's just a justification for them to say that they don't see you when you're black.
1,000%.
So I could actually understand why these folks are saying that.
Yes.
But again, I wonder, what does it mean for these kids to go home to their fathers and grandfathers who have spent years like trying to unalive black people, and then to see the influence of black culture on their kids?
Yes.
What is that going to make them do? Because that's when violence really happens to our communities.
True.
When they feel like they're losing the culture war.
True.
So that's why I'm like, oh, please don't. But be that as it may, I think this is also a reference point about the lack of journalism that's happening within America. With the corporate takeover of journalism, that people do not have the time to find the reference points. And because a lot of these news organizations are being taken over by conservative families, they are basically being told to erase our blackness within print. And so I think it's a bunch of stuff happening all at once, and we have to call it out, because we have to gatekeep our culture. We have to preserve our culture, or they're going to say we don't have a culture. And so that's why I think it's very important to be like, nah, bruh, this is a fade. Call it a fade. And recognize that black people once again created all of this.
And it would be cool, like, if Travis Kelce did, because then it was also another article that was like, here's the other headline to the other article. What is swag surfing? Everything to know about the Chiefs' viral dance celebration as Taylor Swift and Donna Kelce participate. So again, swag surfing is mad old, right? But it's this phenomenon of until white people do it, right? It wasn't like all of a sudden it was like, curvy women are in style, and it's like because a white woman went and had some surgery, right? It's just ridiculous.
Did you see what the niggas who created swag surfing said?
What they say?
They was like they gave Taylor Swift the okay to remix it.
As long as I get some publishing, hell yeah, I would too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there was backlash on that online. It was like, not during Black History Month, you ain't gonna do that shit.
No, but I do think it's important for them to get their publishing, to get their. I think they should the Chiefs, which is a very racist name.
100%. Yes. Very racist. Yes.
Anti-indigenous name, should bring them out, have them do some type of performance.
Yeah. Pay them.
Pay them well for Super Bowl. But I also think that people saw swag surfing happening at HBCUs and were like, I want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That looked fun.
That's exactly what happened.
And I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to pretend like I've never seen this before.
Regardless of whether I'm on rhythm or not. I'm going to try to do my best.
Swag surfing is a Black American pastime.
It's just a vibe at this point.
It should be treated as such at all times.
This is a quote from Sean Keeley. It says, quote, Black people are accustomed to seeing their cultural footprints diminished or erased by American media. There are myriad examples, including rock and roll, various dancers, and hipster culture. Historically, media related to these topics play down or outright erase Black people's roles surrounding them, either purposely or out of a lack of awareness about historical context. So that goes back to your point, Miracle, about like, we got to do the gatekeeping, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to end that and kill that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, yesterday, I think about this quite often, and Miracles just said such an amazing thing months and months and months ago. The Moors never should have taught people how to bathe. Like, they should have never brought these practices to Europe.
Particularly in 2024 when they like not bathing either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just like,
there's mad.
We all could have just went home. Just been okay.
We all could have had a better life. But no, the Moors are like, let me teach you about sanitation.
There are certain things we just should have gate kept and just forever.
Hilarious. So we have our new segment.
Oh, we have more blackmail.
Blackmail, yes. Right? So, we've been having mail the last few, episodes. People have been emailing us, or, last episode we had an actual letter that we read.
That came in from the Pony Express.
So this episode of Blackmail, we have a voicemail. So apparently you Google us online, you can find our number, or if you go to onehood.org, you can find our number. And
which is just slightly alarming, but
yeah. Well, it depends on, if you're calling to
for nefarious purposes
or thank us.
Yeah.
Cool. But this was a different call. Can you play this voicemail, Farouk?
Just want to leave a message for the commentators on here. Y'all are a very prejudiced, racial people. I'm a white guy. You guys are very racial.
We couldn't tell.
Sounds like Trump a little bit.
Have a good day.
Oh, wait, it gets better.
Did you hear me, man? Yeah, you guys are racial motherfuckers on here, to tell you the truth. They're angry, racial motherfuckers.
We laugh all the time.
I would say we laugh a lot on this show. And there's more.
Wait.
Yes.
He called back?
I'm not a white supremacist.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
Hello. I was born in West Virginia.
That's evident.
You guys are racial.
You've said that
Your whole
10 times.
thing is so racial. It's so embarrassing for y'all.
Okay.
I don't mean to say y'all, but yeah. Y'all are racial.
We're probably as racial as you are inbred.
Wow.
No. Oh, my
Jesus. Lord have mercy. You want this man to come here, try to fight you? Yeah, I mean, again.
Does everybody in your family look like you, sir?
Stop. I think it's very interesting how last week we were told that we laughed too much.
Yes.
That we are too loud.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Can't please everybody.
And this week it's like we're angry.
Yes.
And mean. It just shows that like how people perceive us is really different than how we perceive ourselves.
Yes.
And the perception is really, really skewed. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And again, it's like, obviously, and I don't know. Did he say his name? It's like, sir, unnamed white man.
Mr. West Virginia.
Yes,
Yeah,
unnamed
Mr.
white man. The show
Hills
is
Have
called
Eyes.
This Week in White Supremacy.
Yes.
So there's going to be some talk about race. Mm-hmm. You should know. As soon as you click on your clicker and it says white supremacy on it, guess what we going to talk about?
Well, he probably thought
Racial
it was something he wanted to tune into.
He was like, "Oh, white supremacy! All right,
we
are." And let's go. So the idea, you're not prejudiced, which you are. You're not a white supremacist. You absolutely are.
Yeah.
And obviously, black people talking about these issues, laughing and joking about them. As soon as we show our teeth, we're angry now. They're fangs to you now. I mean,
shit.
Yes, trouble.
I have a word of advice for you, man.
Come on, brother.
Don't come to black people talking to us about how racial we are when we comment on racist systems that want to erase our entire existence. Go to your white counterparts and tell them about how racial they have been. Call your local legislator.
Yes.
Call whoever you know that looks like you in power and tell them, hey, maybe you should stop making such racial policies. You know what I'm saying? Go to your local corporations and hey, maybe y'all should stop making such racial policies that, exclude your workers, don't pay people enough to live. Talk to everyone that looks like you about how racial this country is. Don't come to us, bro.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? That deserves a gunshot and all the other things. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. With that being said, who wants to? Oh, you want to? Have you read this?
Oh, wow.
You need to read this right now on air. Word for word.
Black woman taught us.
Yes.
Pages Blanche, our Pages Blanches aujourd'hui is Black woman taught us an intimate history of black feminism.
What'd you say? Or what?
White Pages.
White Pages. Okay.
White Pages today.
Yes. Yeah. And who is the author?
The author, to use a colonizer
Jen
language.
M. Jackson.
Oh,
aren't you speaking in one? Join us next week for when Miracle finds the light-skinned men that hurt her.
First of all, light-skinned men didn't hurt me. I'm just saying you just wanted to celebrate your colonizer languages. And so I just
You're speaking in a colonizer language.
Wanted you
She's
to
not
get
celebrating it, though.
I just wanted you to
Well, then
get
she keeps talking.
Oh, so I need to shut the fuck up?
She needs to tone it down for
language.
Do I need to, is that what you're trying to say? I'm being too loud again. I'm
no,
talking.
maybe you should just speak in another language if you don't like this one.
Oh my gosh. She's so loud. She won't let me talk.
Listen to Farouk go at a black woman by holding the book.
Black women
That's
taught
it.
us.
Black women taught us. Arguing with a black woman.
Taught us how to fight.
Remember, listen, no domestic.
Oh,
Wow.
my days.
My goodness.
Yes,
but today that is our white pages today.
black woman taught us, and we have
And some of us don't listen or learn or retain, but black women do the best that we can.
Yes,
They do.
So we have some stuff coming up. Principally this Friday, we have an Artivist Academy showcase. Ashanti Josie is doing a showcase. She's an amazing visual artist. She's doing it in collaboration with the Black Art Collective, a group of folks that are coming. So it's going to be a panel, it's going to be art, it's going to be food, it's going to be music. I believe everything starts at 7 p.m. It's free, so come on out this Friday to Black Box at One Hood, and celebrate an incredibly dope artist, Ashanti Josie, for our Artivist Academy showcase. Anything else happening?
There's always stuff happening. I get this wrong all the time. You have to Google All In for Allegheny County.
Yes.
There is a community survey that's going to be going for 2 more weeks.
Yes.
So if you live in Allegheny County or a taxpayer in Allegheny County, please take the survey. It helps inform the decision making that's coming for the next 2 months. As always, do what you can to stop violence in the world and love on each other with consent.
Yes.
And show up for people.
Absolutely. Anything else, Trouble?
Yeah, I have a fundraiser up. I'm trying to get to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest EDU.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you fuck with me, I would really appreciate if you donated, or even if you just shared it with your folks. You know what I'm saying?
And they can find you where on social media?
You can find me at Treble NLS on Instagram, on Facebook. I will be posting about it pretty regularly, so follow me and just stay updated. I got you.
Damn right. So support our brother Treble, definitely. And sir,
shooters gonna shoot.
Niggas love shooting.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Niggas love shooting.
Are you threatening?
Okay,
me
yes.
on
Camera?
Is
this
what?
Wow.
Is that some
Why'd you go there? I didn't say anything.
shooters going to shoot basketballs? Is that because the All-Star game is coming up? Is that what we're talking about?
Nah, just shoot my shot, innit?
Oh, shooting your shot
No, you don't
verbally.
do that no more.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, got you.
No.
Got you.
Valentine's
Shooters
Day
gonna
is
shoot?
coming up.
Valentine's Day is
No.
coming up.
Man.
Yes.
Galentine's Day.
Shout out to
shit.
that. Get the girls, get some.
Remember,
Chocolate.
ladies, men are the prize on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
It just keeps getting worse.
Apparently, black women didn't teach Farouk. All right? He was absent the day that black women came out to teach.
Are you saying that you're the prize?
I am the prize.
Oh,
I
wow.
am 1,000%
Wow.
prize.
Wow. I think Kevin Samuel died, my brother. That being
shit.
said, we'll see y'all next week. This week in White Supremacy.
May
Peace.
he rest in peace.
One Hood.